Dear viewers, the topic which I will discuss, analyze and examine today is how Pakistan can become a successful country, question mark. Pakistan is blessed with so many things. We should be thankful to God. 220 million people, right? It is blessed with fertile lands, world's largest canal system, around 500 kilometers of sea, mountains, peaks, desert, mineral resources, natural resources. But then why is it so that despite the fact that Pakistan has the world's largest canal system, agricultural lands, used to be a breadbasket for the country. Punjab used to be a breadbasket for the country. Then why Pakistan is importing wheat, is importing cotton, and is importing sugar and other agricultural products? So, to respond to the question that how Pakistan can become a successful state is a state whose economy is vibrant, its trade, its GDP, its per capita income, its growth rate. And since its if economy of a country is in the right track, is vibrant, it is respected elsewhere. The second thing is about the political stability. There is peace. There is peace in a country, political stability. That socially, culturally, the country is not only peaceful, but the country is well integrated. It's a successful country. And we have so many examples that countries which were called as failed state, countries which were called as poor developing countries, they were able to lift their people from poverty, underdevelopment, social development. For example, People's Republic of China. For example, Singapore, which was a third world country, impoverished country, South Korea, Taiwan, Malaysia, Indonesia, you name it. Why it has not happened in case of Pakistan? What is the problem? There are 9 major requirements, and we have to be very serious about it. It's not rhetoric. 9 major requirements we have to take into account seriously. First is leadership. How honest, competent, visionary the leadership is. How that leadership is above contradictions. How that leadership owns its own people. Second, to what extent the country is able to control corruption and nepotism. No country can be successful unless the tree of corruption and nepotism not the roots of that tree are cut, eliminated. Third, focus on economic, social and human development. As I said earlier, that economic development, that is development as far as people are concerned, that is socio-economic status of people, social development, economic development, human development. That human development index Pakistan is 144, which is shameful. Fourth, that the country should be a welfare state, a state which gives priority to the welfare of its own people. clean and safe drinking water, better housing facilities, public transport, better educational opportunities, facilities, health facilities, and all those facilities which can improve the socio-economic status of people. Fifth, utilizing human resource, 220 million people. Out of 220 million people, the youth bulge of Pakistan is around 60%. What is their future? So the human resource needs to be utilized. How they will be utilized? Because an empty mind is a devil's paradise. They should be utilized by giving them proper training, educational opportunities, employment opportunities, investing on the youth, investing on various programs, not on paper, not rhetoric. They should do it, and the amount which is basically allocated should not go wasted in corruption. Research and development, R&D. No nation can progress without research and development, which basically means that development, not only bridges, roads, railways, but development at the grassroots level. How the Nobel laureate Dr. Muhammad Yunus from Bangladesh, as early as 1980, launched microfinance credit program, Grameen Bank, and uplifted the disempowered segments of society. The women empowerment in Bangladesh took place because of that. So research is very important. How research can basically play a leading role. It can turn around things, and the country can be developed. A developed country is a country where the quality of life of people, where modernization, infrastructure development takes place. Seventh, quality education. And this is nothing new about it. That instead of a class-based education system, and literacy ratio of Pakistan is less than 60%. So it means that 40% people of Pakistan are illiterate. Quality education basically means an education where state should be responsible for free, compulsory and education which can enhance the level and caliber of students right from the kindergarten, primary, all the way to the high school. High school, 12 classes. That is state's responsibility. And if quality education at the grassroots level is ensured, then certainly in 30 years' time, one can see the results, and not the education that you have ghost schools, ghost teachers. Billions of rupees, hundreds and billions of rupees are wasted, not only wasted but are eaten up in the name of education. Eighth, slashing holidays and controlling wastage of resources. There should only be one holiday a week, just one holiday. All the unnecessary holidays must be slashed, must be eliminated. This country cannot afford the luxury of holidays. This country cannot afford the luxury of strikes. They should be banned at least for 20 years on strikes. And it basically means that the issues which cause strikes, such issues should be resolved. And then no one should be allowed not to work, to go on a strike. No, this country will not be able to make it. And the holidays, because the culture of Pakistan has become so unfortunate, so pathetic, people wouldn't like to work. Even during working days, you don't find, particularly in the state-owned organizations, people who are performing their duties seriously. Lot of gossiping, wasting time. And then of course, a very unfortunate thing is that Friday or even regular days, People lie that they have gone to say their prayers. No. And they will take 3 hours for their prayers. They will not come back, particularly on Friday. So it means that the dishonest approach of people who take advantage of religious, these matters, and it reminds me of my own case that in the evening program of when I used to take classes, and when there used to be the Maghrib prayers, so I used to give them time. Okay, you come back in 5 minutes time, 6 minutes time. They will not show up. They will not show up. That they have gone for their prayers, and then in many cases they will not return. So basically it is up to them, up to their conscience about it. Wastage of resources, mineral resources, natural resources, water resources, water, conservation of water. 8, ownership of countries' resources. Ownership of countries' resources, whether these are financial resources, whether these are water resources, energy resources, electricity, gas, no wastage of such resources. And finally, time management, because time is money. If these 9 requirements are adhered to, it will take time, I'm not very optimistic about it, because it is not perhaps in our DNA. You have to change our DNA as the Chinese have changed their DNA and others have changed their DNA. They become more productive, they become more efficient, they become more hardworking, they become more intelligent, they become more honest. So time management, time is money. And how much time we waste? So that is the reason why our country has been under debt, foreign debt, domestic debt, more than its GDP. And we have to pay 10, 20, 15 billion dollars a year, just the interest of debt servicing. So everyone has to blame, everyone has, is responsible. I am also responsible for that matter. But the thing is basically that unless the leadership, whether it is at the top or the middle level, at the bottom level, makes a decision that enough is enough. Because if the country is not respected, it is because of, if it is not respected, it is due to the fact that we are not adhering to the 9 requirements to transform Pakistan as a successful country, that it has a respect, its GDP, its GNP, its exports, its per capita income, its quality of life of people, the modernization, the infrastructure development, peace, stability. Thank you very much.